Hello and welcome to a session that I'm doing during the sunset. And I thought it would be challenging to do a yoga session focusing on single leg balancing, which will be great for strengthening our hips and knees and ankles, our joints, our lower body, with also some core work as well, because you need a strong core to master these very challenging balances. So you may need a yoga block and a yoga mat and a sunset. Let's lift one knee up to the chest and just start to circle that foot. We're going to lift the arms, interlacing up to the ceiling. I mean the sky. And then move into a quadricep stretch, bringing both hands behind. And then moving into dancer pose. Let's segue into tree pose, placing the foot on the inner thigh of the opposite leg. And then interlacing the hands, lifting the fingertips to the sky, to the clouds, slowly releasing and moving into eagle arms. I like to call this eagle in the tree pose. Squeezing arms up and pressing bottom foot down into the earth. Stand tall. Keep breathing. We're going to cross that leg over and move right into an eagle pose. See if you can sink the hips and drop down a little further. Option to cross that top foot behind the bottom ankle if you can squeeze those legs together a little bit more. And then we're going to move into chair arms and adjusting the legs into this half standing pigeon balance, looking up, lifting heart, dropping tail, smiling helps. We'll bring the palms together at heart center. We'll see if those elbows can make contact with that top leg. Folding forward a little bit more. Takes lots of concentration. You have to have a clear mind. And we're going to bring the hands down to the earth. You might want a yoga block or two here. So leaning into that flexibility. Bend your bottom knee a little bit more if you can. Let the head drop. Flex the top foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now pull those abdominals in. You're going to need some core support to build it back up again to standing. Press down on the bottom foot and sweep the arms open. Coming back up, standing tall. See if we can keep that single leg balance going and find the calf, ankle, bottom of the foot. Some people like holding the big toe. And we'll open that up to a side split, looking away from the leg. Almost there. You can do it. Let's float that leg forward and switch the hand that is holding on to that leg or foot, and then sweep that same side arm back and behind. So stretching away, twisting into that lifted leg. Crown is up, bottom foot is down. Arms are reaching in opposition. Collarbone is long. Abdominals are engaged. Breathe in. And then slowly bring your gaze or your drishti forward and release that foot, and let's do a slow sweep back with that leg into warrior three. The same arm stretches forward, still going for opposition movement with that arm and leg. Both arms will reach forward. Your abdominals have to lift up towards the spine to support that back. If you can, your gaze is forward over the fingertips. Sweeping arms into a T shape. And then interlacing fingers just on top of the sacrum, squeezing shoulder blades, reaching arms up to the sky as we drop the heart down to the earth. And that back leg lifts up a little higher if you can. Stay steady. We're almost there. Releasing one arm down to find the block or the ground. We're going to open this up into half moon pose. So one arm reaches up to the sky, the other hand presses down to the earth. The back leg lifts up energetically. Flex the foot. And find your focus point. You can be looking down, you can be looking to the side, or you can be looking up to that top hand. Bend that floating leg and see if you can find the foot with the top arm and move that into that dancer-like pose in your half moon. Let the spine arch. Wherever you are, breathe into it. Wobbling is fine. Swaying is natural. Falling is beautiful. And then try to have some control coming out of this last balance on this side. And we're going to bend that supporting leg and the back leg. Bring the back leg behind the supporting leg, lower the hips and glutes down to the mat, and let's move into a seated twist. Wrapping opposite arm around that top knee, pull it in towards the chest. Press down with that back palm into the ground. And stay here and breathe. Or option to bind, taking that wrapping arm just to the outside of the knee to press into the knee, and then perhaps to fold the arm underneath and through. And usually I need a little bit of assistance with my second arm to help get that arm through. And then maybe reaching behind and finding the hands interlacing together. And then if you've got that bind, you can really use that bind to pull the legs closer, to sit up a little taller, to breathe in naturally, calmly. Slow release of the arms and hands. And we're going to twist the other direction, but coming into a forward fold over a wider stance. So wide straddle forward bend, tailbone to the sky, crown of the head to the ground. Drop the fingertips down and lift the heart up and forward like you're pulling away from the legs, and then exhale to fold back into the bend. And I'm holding the outside of the heels, using the arms to pull the trunk a little closer to the legs. Heels drop. Breathe into those hamstrings. And then bring one palm down And let's twist looking up to the sky. And bring it down. Let's switch the other arm. Opening it up. Feel that length across the chest, looking to the sky, pressing down with the opposite hand and both feet, and then stretch the arm overhead and down again. Line up the fingertips and the toes. Reach for those heels one more time. Final little forward folding moment. Looking from side to side. And then take your time, bend the knees, and let's heel toe the feet, the legs a little closer together, about hip width apart. Bending a little bit more and round the spine, slowly coming up to standing, shoulders, neck, and head. Little shake, shake of the knees, a little rolling of those shoulders. And let's stand to the front of our mat, re-establishing mountain pose. Let's open the palms in this receptive, receiving way. Let's appreciate our environment, so beautiful in the sunset. Inhale, let's stretch up, palms together. Exhale, lower it down. Soak it in. And let's try leg number 2. Keep standing tall as we float the other knee up for knee to chest pose, circling the ankle. Both directions. And then we'll interlace the hands and press to the sky. Keep the knee high. Energize the arms. Regulate the breathing. And then we'll move this into a quadriceps stretch, either one hand or both hands holding the back of the foot, holding the top of the foot. Let the knee point down to the ground. Releasing the opposite arm. Bring it forward in front, palm to the sky, index and thumb finger touching, and let's extend the spine into dancer pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let's inhale, come up and out of dancer. And try to keep that leg lifted as we externally rotate it into tree pose. The heel lifts high up the inner thigh and those arms sweep out to the side. Coming up and overhead. And I like to cross one arm in front of the other and turn the palms to face each other and press up through the fingertips, squeezing biceps in towards the sides of the face. a little smiling tree pose. Probably my favorite pose. We're going to keep the legs, but we're going to switch the arms to eagle arms. Interlacing one arm underneath the other and trying to find the palms as best you can. Close together, perhaps touching. So deep stretch across the shoulders and upper back. Keep squeezing the arms up. Keep pressing the legs towards each other. And let's keep the arms now and switch the legs into that eagle. You can do it. It's okay. You've got it. Okay, good. I often talk myself out of falling all the time. Wrapping the top leg around the bottom leg, and maybe you can swivel that foot to the back of the supporting leg around the calf or the ankle, or not. If not, it'll just be like a crossed-legged seated position. Sinking hips, lots of inner thigh work. We'll release the arms, we'll release the legs, and we'll move into our half-standing pigeon leg pose with chair arms, so palms facing in, hips sinking down like you're sitting back into a chair, top foot flexed. And let's bring palms together at heart center for a moment, a breath, a happy thought. And maybe those elbows can connect to the top leg here. And slowly bringing hands to the earth or to your yoga block. Folding a little deeper, maybe bending that supporting knee a little deeper. If you feel like you've got a great balance, you could even try holding that supporting ankle, foot, leg. And then to come out of this pose, we're going to exhale and deepen our abdominals to help us come back up to standing tall. If you can keep that leg floating up, we're going to open it into that side split hand to toe balance. You can hold anywhere on the leg, the calf, the ankle, the heel. You can do the yoga toe lock with the 2 fingers. See if you can look away from the leg. And let's sweep that leg forward and front. Switch the hand that's holding. So the same side arm can open back and away. Find a drishti, a focus point. It's going to help you stick your balance. If possible, try looking to that back hand as you push the foot forward into the front hand. Press down in that supporting leg and lengthen through the knee. Happy thoughts are always helpful. And let's slow motion sweep that leg behind us, coming into Warrior 3. Same side arm reaches forward. Abdominals have to pull up and into the spine. And palms will face each other as we sweep that second arm forward. If you're feeling your low back too much here, then bring the hands to the hips or T-pose. or by the side. You can look down to the ground or forward to those fingertips, and then we're going to sweep the arms to the side, behind us interlacing, and lift the arms up and away from the sacrum. Drop heart lower, lift back leg higher, kind of diving down in our warrior three. Release the arms and let's open this up into half moon pose. So the leg that's lifted, that same side arm is going to lift up to the sky, and try lifting that back leg. It's going to help you balance when the back leg is energized and activated. And you can look down, you can look to the side, you can look up to the sky. Bend that back knee and see if we can find some contact with the top hand and foot. And then the foot will press into the hand, and that will allow the hip flexor to extend and the spine to arch and the heart to open and the breath to flow into new spaces. It's just a sensation. Stay calm with your breathing. The metaphor is that the breath gets you through all these tough, seemingly impossible situations, because the breath stays controlled and calm and supportive. Slow motion release of that pose. We're going to bend both knees, and that floating leg folds behind the supporting leg. Yes, finally you can sit down. And we're going to twist into the leg, so your opposite arm is going to wrap around that front leg. See if the bottom of the foot can be flatly placed onto the mat. So this side is a little tighter for me. I'm actually just sitting tall and hugging that knee in close. And now I'm going to wrap it up. Pressing the back hand down into the earth to lift up through the heart and the crown. Try to feel for both sitting bones down. And let's try bringing the arm on the outside of that top knee to press into the knee, and I'm just using my second arm to help navigate that hand through the leg and see if there is a binding moment with the fingertips. And letting the body squeeze into itself, so pulling closer to the legs with the trunk of the body, pressing that foot down into the earth. Getting a little activation in our upper middle back to open up the chest. And also breathing into this twist. Slowly we'll let that go, twisting the other direction to unwind the legs and end up in a forward fold over wider straddle stance. So I am going to do yoga toe lock in this one. And inhale, lift the heart forward, and exhale, fold into the legs. And then try reaching the hands through the legs and kind of pulling the chest closer towards the center of the legs. And bring the hands back. Let's walk the feet closer and slowly roll all the way up to standing, circling the shoulders, Come back into mountain pose, establish mountain pose, and inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky, and exhale, lowering down. A couple more times. Finishing with palms together, pulling the palms right into heart center, and just take a moment for some reflection, some congratulations, some celebratory feelings. That was tough stuff. And you've done it once again. Good for you. Thanks for joining, everyone. Until next time.